What's Russell Wilson always say? The separation is in the preparation. And that's right. That is Russell Wilson is my guy. Love that guy. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about preparing your house for sale. What do I need to do to prepare my house for sale? And what don't I need to do to prepare my house for sale? Two really important questions that people get mixed up all the time with. So let's talk about it, okay? The number one thing you can do to get your house ready for sale is make it clean. Clean, 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 clean. The most important aspect of this is to remember they're not here to buy your house. They don't want to buy your home. Nobody wants to buy your home. They want to buy their house. They want to buy a house to turn into their home. Okay? So anything you can do to make it look not like your home, that is, take all the tchotchkes and get rid of them. Get everything clean, painted, all the extra things that make it look like your home, get them in storage or sell them or get rid of them somehow. People don't want to walk in and see your wall of taxidermied animal heads, or go ahead and Google bad MLS photos and you'll see just the impact it makes to have a house that looks like it belongs to someone else. No, you want as generic of a looking house as you can. So preparation means decluttering, getting clean, get everything out, get it in boxes. You're going to be moving anyway. You're going to have to touch it. You're going to have to either decide what to do with it. Sell it, donate it, or trash it, or pack it. Those are the only four options because it ain't staying in the house. So get all that done before you list the house. Get it all out of the house, okay? And you can use we provide a stager for our listings. We provide someone who comes in and does the staging, or if you're still going to be living there, we do a staging consultation. It's included in our service. We don't charge extra for it. Some agents charge extra for it. You want to find out. But getting all that done, the decluttering is one of the biggest, hardest parts of selling, just getting all that stuff handled. You can pack everything in the garage. The garage is one of those rooms in the house where people can see through it and understand this is a garage. So if it's filled with boxes, it's generally not a problem. But otherwise, you want to start thinking people have very limited imaginations. So a stager can help with taking, you have an odd little alcove in your house or the basement, you want to get it to look like a playroom. Good. You should get a stager to bring in a pool table or something, make it look like a playroom, because people have limited imaginations. The garages, closets, not so much. As long as it's not just scattered, if it's just boxes, you can get away with it. But for the most part, clean, tidy. They want to be able to see their stuff in your house. They want to be able to look at your house and see what their lifestyle would look like there, not what your lifestyle looks like there, all right? Which brings us to, okay, once everything has been decluttered, you want to clean it. Deep clean, deep clean, deep clean. Now, it's, again, one of the things that we offer our sellers, just as part of the package, is we have a cleaning crew that comes in and does all that kind of deep cleaning. But you want to, for the most part, depending on the way it looks, windows, carpets, everything's polish. Why? Because the buyer is going to come in, you want that thing to pop when they come in, which includes the landscaping. Something else we include in our listing packages is we have a landscaper come in, and we're not creating new gardens where there are no gardens, but we are, mow and blow kind of thing, like a trim, because you want that house to look great from the outside and great on the interior. Well lit, clean, any sort of bold, crazy colors that you loved or murals on the wall that you loved because you're great. If you're moving out, you want to get rid of them. Okay, very rarely do any of that stuff translate to be something useful for another buyer. Okay, again, and that brings up the question of, well, should we replace the carpet? What should we do here? You got to work that out with your realtor, because sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes just cleaning it. Sometimes offering a carpet credit works, because you don't know the taste of the person who's buying the house. So redoing the flooring or any kind of major remodel for that matter is never going to pay for itself. Remodeling the kitchen, remodeling the bathroom, doing any of those things that you've been putting off for years, but now you think you're going to do them to get more money for the house. Ready? You're not. It's not. Ready? Don't believe me? No problem. Google best or highest ROI remodels. Go ahead, Google highest ROI remodels. And what you're going to come up with is a list of the least bad ROIs. I think 95% is as good as it gets. All right, well, that means you're spending $1 and getting 95 cents. I will give you 95 cents for every dollar you send me. And you send me as many dollars as you want, and I'll send you back 95 cents on every one of them. Why? Because it's a terrible ROI for you. You're losing money every time. No, the only things that are going to produce a positive ROI are things related to cleaning, the way it looks, painting, landscaping, things like that. Things that make it look great, you can get. Why? Because paint's cheap. All right? Carpeting's not so much cheap, so I don't know that I would invest in carpeting. You got to work that out on sort of depending on how bad it looks now. But those kinds of things, are you going to get less for the house if it needs a new kitchen? You are. You are going to get less for a house if it needs a new kitchen than if you redid the kitchen. But unless you're swinging the hammer, right, you're not going to get enough more for it to make the hassle of redoing the kitchen worth it. If it costs you $15,000 to redo the kitchen, you're not getting $20,000 more for the house. You might get $12,000, $14,000 more, but you just spent $15,000 and you're going to get $12,000, and you had to take an extra month to do it. And there's almost no math that makes that worth, unless you're a contractor, or your dad's a contractor, or you know a contractor, or blah, 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 and you find someone else who's going to swing the hammer and you get a great deal on it, and fine, maybe that works out for you. But for the vast majority of people, in the vast majority of cases, paint, clean, declutter, landscape. Those things will return the most amount of money for you in the least amount of time with the least hassle. All right. So when you're thinking about what I need to do to get the house ready, you want to be thinking, does this make it cleaner? Does this make it neater? Does this make it look less like my place? Does this make it look more available, more spacious, more light, more open, more space where someone else can see it? Why? Because you're the CEO of a company that's selling a commodity in a crowded market, and you want yours to be the one that people see themselves in. That's your job as the CEO, is to get that house looking like it could be anybody's house. You want it to appeal to the widest variety of people so that you have the biggest possible market for your house. Why? Because it's already a limited market. There's not a billion people that want your house, right? So you want to get it looking like that. Then there's another question. So after you get that idea, right, and you're working with your realtor to determine exactly what you will do and what you won't do and who's going to pay for it and how the whole thing is going to go. And I highly recommend that you get it staged. Staging always pays for itself. Whether you have to pay for it or you find a realtor that's going to pay for it, it's almost always worth it, because it's one of those things that strictly makes the house look better, and it makes a big difference, okay? So highly recommend you do that. That's why we include it for free. The next question that comes up for people is, should we do an inspection or not, right? What should we do about the inspection? There's a value in you as the seller doing the inspection yourself. And there are occasions where I recommend it, and there's occasions where I don't, and it depends about the heat of the market. In other words, how quickly homes are selling. In a slower market, a market where you're not likely to get multiple offers, and a market where the house may sit for a while, I generally recommend that my seller do an inspection. It's going to cost them $500-600, and they're going to be able to get basically a punch list of items to take care of for the house, redoing the crawl space and repairing certain things on the electrical panel, and maybe this leaks or that leaks, and they're going to be able to fix all of that and then present to the buyer, here's the inspection, and here's what we've already done. This gives you, as the buyer, as the seller, a couple of unique advantages, okay? First of all, it's total transparency. So if in a market that's slower, right, where they're considering your house and maybe they're considering 2 or 3 other houses, you're going to be the one that offers the lowest risk for them. Why? Because you already showed them, here's everything that you're buying. It's the lowest risk proposition for them. Second is it's going to give you the opportunity to get ahead of the train. Because in a slow market, no one's buying your house without doing an inspection. They're all going to wind up doing an inspection, but they're going to do it after they go under contract with you. They're going to discover everything you just discovered in the inspection, and they're going to demand that you repair it. And they're probably going to demand that you either repair more than you've already offered to repair, that you've already done, or they're going to ask you to give them a discount on the sale price based on what they found on the inspection. Where if you give them the inspection up front and you say, here are the things we've repaired and we're not doing anything about the other ones, you're welcome to do an inspection, but unless you find something that's not on this report, don't expect us to do it because we've already done everything we're going to do. Make your offer based on this report. You've given yourself an advantage because they're no longer going to have a negotiation over you. You know, an inspection contingency means it's a get out of deal free card for this buyer. It means you could go under contract, then discover something that's crazy about the house, and then have to go back on market and have to explain to every other potential buyer what happened, that it came back on market. So in a slower market, I generally recommend that my sellers do an inspection. In a fast moving market, I know that the buyers are likely to either do their own inspection before they write the offer, which means they're not going to negotiate anything with us because they're doing it and then they're going to write their offer. Or they're just going to waive the inspection because they got some crazy realtor that thinks it's okay for them to waive the inspection without doing an inspection, which I think is out of control stupid. But not all agents are created equal, and I have sold plenty of houses from agents that just waive the inspection, and I'm all good with that if they are. So in a fast-moving market, my client not only doesn't have to spend the $600 for the inspection, they don't have to spend the money on the repairs because it's not going to come to that. So you need to work that out with your agent, whether to inspect or not inspect before you put it on the market as part of preparation. But that kind of decision can be made at the time. So that's preparation. Now, once the house is prepared, you're going to get to, here I am, show me, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. We're going to get to promotion, okay? Meantime, if you have questions about preparation, about our packages and what we offer, things like that, let me know. Aaron Hendon, Christine and Company over at eXp Realty. Talk to you soon.